What's going on, world? I'm Saxophonist Jay Boykin. We here live with the Humble Kings, y'all. I produce, I write, I rap, I sing, and most importantly, play the sax. This is the love of my life, my second voice right here. And yeah, I love it, bro. I've been doing this now for about 20 plus years, and music really saved my life, bro. There was a show that I was on for about 3 episodes, and it was a show called Glee on Fox. Yeah. And I played there, and that kind of opened up some doors. And from there, I remember they just called me one random morning, like, you need to shave all your hair off and come in. And I got to record and do a little feature, and that gave me some publicity. Yeah. And also, just out of my career, it's funny how you do one thing and it kind of leads to something else. But I got to open for John Legend, and and that was pretty dope at a college out here. And man, it was crazy, bro. I just try to give it everything I got, man. But it was a dope experience for sure. My grandparents on both sides used to play a lot of old jazz records, and the artwork just on the records and stuff kind of got me intrigued with the sax. And I picked it up, and I kind of started doing some performing in church. Would do like rapping, would do some singing, and then I picked up the sax. And first I played clarinet for about a year, and I had to kind of like earn my way to the sax. So when I got a sax, I was just like, never put it down. I would be remiss if I didn't mention my uncle, who passed away early on. He played keyboards. He played piano in church, so he used to always have a couple go-to songs. And my mom and I would kind of, sing every now and again, and just music was always around me, like whether it be pots and pans or I had a little stereo system hooked up to my computer or whatnot. So it just grew, man. I got to move around quite a bit. My mom being a nurse and my dad being a truck driver, they were always, working hard. So I lived in Texas for a couple years, and lived in La Quinta actually for another few years, and then back to Riverside. So yeah, I've been around quite a bit, and music was probably the only thing that was consistent in my life like that. So I joke about it, but it's real when I say it saved my life, man, because I for sure could have been doing a lot of different other things, I remember I was at a point where I was like starting to invest in my own craft. I hadn't quite had the horn endorsement yet, but from Glee, but I persevered, man. And I invested in a sax. I remember like spending like $3K, like while I was like still in high school, and sacrificing and just mowing lawns. I was just a hustler naturally. My pops worked a bunch of jobs, so I remember saving like every penny up for that sax, man. And it just that was kind of, I felt like that wasn't really an outcome of that, but at the time I remember it kind of crossed that time, because in all the pictures I see my sax, it's like gold and straight. It was a different brand than the horn I'm playing now. Wow. But that always brings me back to that time. When I look at that picture from that concert, I'm like, oh man, that was when I bought my sax. Like my first expensive like sax, pretty much just put myself on at that time, But I think the real leap of faith is when I quit my job. I was doing security, and this was maybe about close to 10 years ago now. But I quit my job, and I remember, financially it being like really scary because everything was so tight. And I just took that leap of faith, man, and things opened up from there. I dropped a couple albums. They're available on like Pandora and stuff, and Apple Music, all that. But yeah, man, it's been a crazy journey. But yeah, after that leap of faith, that's when some more doors started opening up, and I realized I needed to focus in on it. So I do that, and I've also taught like a few schools, few orchestras, and I had a whole class at once. So I played just a little bit more than just the sax, but this is like my main bread and butter. But a great opportunity to mentor and stuff, you know, the kids. Absolutely. I have 2 young boys, and they keep me very busy, very active. But they're both into music, so like they're kind of like my young prodigies I'm bringing up. I remember shooting this video, right, on the skateboard. Actually, it's funny because this is just fresh in my mind. But I was trying to ollie over a drum set off of like this huge ledge with the sax, and like I did it eventually. But you know, I in the event of reaching that goal, I fell and broke 2 ribs. And and I actually had the sax in my hand, and when I fell, I like tried to like turn and like save the sax, and I fell on my back, and like I just played through the pain, and even later on, like having this like my bread and butter. Like I remember being at a low point where I was just like really in excruciating pain, still playing like nothing was going on. You know what I'm saying? Like still just playing, and still having to, you know, get bills paid, and, you know, pay the rent and stuff like that, you know, and just playing through it. But I remember to myself thinking of this moment, like, okay, you know, if I can do this, I could probably do anything. So, you know, I ran a marathon and done some things, man. So yeah, it's a lot of mental, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of mental strength that you have to have, I think, to survive in this game. 2021, it's funny, bro, because like I really have a story now, like a testimony, you know, just with COVID, bro. Like I went from playing at the Staples Center for the Clippers, and like a week or 2 later, like almost being homeless, like jumping, going from like hotel to hotel, because you know when I'm like a everyday 3 times a week, 4 times a weekend gig type of musician. So like when COVID hit, it kind of really put the brakes on things. But you know, instead of just like accepting that, you know, we started a nonprofit. We started this jam like once a week, doing this online jam, and we were able to generate income and even help other musicians that were struggling. So it was really dope, bro, how it all turned around again for us. But my life is full of excitement like that, bro. It's never really a dull moment. But COVID was for real a wake-up call for me, and you know, my purpose. For me, that life is a marathon, man. Like how Nipsey said, you know, it's no roadblocks. It's just lessons at this point. Like I remember even dissecting that even deeper. And you know, in the past, I remember, you know, something as comparable to like a car accident, it being so dramatic. And now how I'm looking at it now, it's like the first thing I'm checking is like everybody's safe. And then I'm like, I have insurance now. I'm not tripping. You know, it's just like the perspective on it really shifts and molds how you deal with a problem. Because normally 9 times out of 10, if you take a deep breath, you can overcome the obstacle. You know, in the whole midst of my whole journey or whatnot, you know, I've really appreciated. I've learned to appreciate life a little more. You know, and especially seeing a lot of death where I come from. You know, just the older I get, I'm in a profession also where I play at funerals. So sometimes like people will call me out of the blue, like, oh, we just need an inspiring song or something, and it kind of transcends the music, because when I'm there, I'm normally like kind of cheering people up, kind of just naturally, you know. I'm just like excited to play, trying to make sure the client's taken care of, but that really just aligns with my purpose, man, and just like I said, just shining a light, and you know, I'm grateful to be here, man. I think you can sum up how I feel in one word, you know, and it's grateful. You know what I mean? Because I've seen so many people get close, or you know, even their life was ended shortly. You know, not to be so cynical or whatever with it, but yeah, man, like even with the whole Nipsey thing, you know what I mean? That was deep for a lot of cats, but it was like a wake up call, because you know, tomorrow's never promised, so you just gotta live life, you know. And I feel like it's more alchemy especially being a performer, because you're on stage and stuff sometimes goes wrong, you know, and you just gotta kind of like hustle and flow. You gotta kind of keep going like nothing happened. So that's how I treat life, man. You know, like I used to do this, incorporate the skateboard in what I do. I used to like skate at shows and play the sax. And yeah, man, like, that's a funny story behind all that too. But I still skateboard, but I don't necessarily incorporate it as much. But I love it, man. That's another side of the culture that, you know, I'm drawn to. Because I've been skating for just about how long I've been playing sax. Ultimately, just a voice. You know, a sound, like deeper than a sound, like a voice. Because even when you can't interpret a voice, you can still hear it. It's like, you know, and that's why energy is so deep when playing this too, because I feel like it's contagious and people can really be receptive to it. You know, they say it's the universal language. So I believe that, man. And you know, even having the opportunity to play in Australia was incredible. Because just to see the people, the different walks of life, how they all were warmed by it, man, and it really, it's really deep like that, bro. and even just to like go overseas and like hear how other cultures just like embrace the music that came from the States. Some of the music that's come from the States is incredible, bro. Like I was DJing a little bit out there, and like I think like a 50 Cent song came on, and everybody knew every word. It was electric, man. It was exciting. So it really is the universal language, man. Started working with this organization called the Harmony Project. Okay. And they go into like schools, mostly like at-risk schools or whatever, with at-risk students and like in kind of low poverty areas, and they assemble an orchestra, you know, from the school band equipment. They borrow them from other schools and lend them out, and I had the opportunity to teach for a few years, 5th and 6th graders, and I did about 3 different schools, and we meet up once a weekend, and then all the schools would come together with the program. So it even got bigger on the weekends. It was like this massive orchestra, but really gave me a lot of patience, man. You know, you gotta have some thick skin when dealing with that many kids, but ultimately, the most rewarding part about it was the mentorship part, you know. I have a few students now that we mentor and just, you know, teach sax with, and yeah, man, there's a few that I would see fights, like everything, you name it. I had plug my ears to when I would listen in on what the kids were talking about sometimes. But I'm like 5th and 6th grade. I'm telling you the truth. But you know, really too, recently I kind of peered into TikTok and kind of tripped out on that, because I was just like, man, I gotta do more. You know, I gotta push myself to do more for this next generation, man, because it's crazy out there, bro. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, I don't want to like sound, you know what I mean, corny, but you know, like the world needs some help, man.
No, that's real.
They need a little light for sure right now.
That's real.
Yeah, bro. No. So I just want to be a voice, man. Do my part. You know, I don't want the next generation to struggle like how we struggled. So, you know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, bro, you doing it, bro. My hat goes off to you guys too, man. For real. Cash, like, man, this is aligned with, you know, everything I stand for. So I just appreciate y'all for this platform again for the 3rd time. All right, world. I want to thank the Humble Kings for having me again, y'all. Nothing but respect. I want to tell y'all, keep your head up over there on the other side of this camera. Hey, we love you. Keep doing your thing. My name's Jay Boykin. Let's do it.